remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Captain's Draft 4.0 Minor South American Qualifiers. We are here with game number 3 of the upper bracket finals. Infamous versus Midas Complete. Winner of this moves on to the grand final. Loser will go down to that lower bracket. A big game and some big heroes here in the pool as we jump into the draft. Thank you so much for joining us here on moonducktv. My name is Mom. With me today is Baseskip. Cameron, how have you felt about these first 2 games of this series so far?
I think they've been really good, actually. I think the level of play has been quite high. I guess the big thing is that the teams still seem to be adjusting to Captain's Draft. And it's not a mode that people really play all that much, right, outside of this event. So to me, it's always really interesting. It almost feels similar to, or it tests some of the same skill set as when a new patch comes out, right? And teams sort of have to test how good they are at adapting and how flexible they are in terms of what heroes do they have up their sleeve. And I think there's a lot of that in the Captain's Draft. And the other really interesting thing that we're seeing here is that you've only got bans at the start of the draft, so you kind of have to plan a long way in advance, because otherwise the only way that you have to deal with what the enemy team is doing is counter picks. And there's not often that many counter picks available in a Captain's Draft pool.
It makes it very uncomfortable drafting. I think uncomfortable is the right word, like, because you never know if you're getting set up for like a 5th pick AM. Like you have that luxury of a 5th ban in those certain situations. So you can ban out an Alk, you can ban out like a Broodmother, you can ban out an AM, but you don't have that like safety net anymore. So like you mentioned, you have to plan very far ahead. And it makes these trickier heroes all the more interesting. And that's why you see these bans. You might not see Broodmother ban or Meepo ban normally, you know, in these bans in Captain's mode, but because of the mode, it makes it much harder to plan around. And I think that's exactly what you were talking about with these first overall bans. Yeah,
for sure. And you're even asking yourself questions now, like, oh, are we going to get like last pick morphlinged, or like what's going to happen here?
That's a weird question to ask, honestly. It feels like that never happens.
Yeah, but Captain's Draft is maybe a slightly different story.
Exactly.
Got a Baden again in this pool. We saw Midas Club Elite yesterday playing an AA Wraith King Magnus. I think they had a Wisp and a Necro as the other 2 heroes in that particular lineup, but the AA is going to be taken away from them this game. I think there's a decent amount of AA synergy in this pool. Though I am a little bit surprised not to see the Shaker taken. Yeah, there you go. So Infamous prioritizing the Ancient Apparition over the Earth Shaker in this game is somewhat surprising to me.
Yeah, this is Infamous. The thing is, they when they were winning, I was watching them I was casting them in the Dream League qualifiers. When they were winning most was when they had this AA Earthshaker combination, and AA would always be that first pick for them. You know, they would have the Excel AA, and then they would have the Schofield Earthshaker, who was just ownage. But this time around, they have to go for the Ancient Apparition, and now we will see the Monkey King come out here from Midas Club Elite, a very versatile hero, and can be very tough to deal with him in the trees all the time.
The more I watch core Monkey King, the less convinced I am. This has been like a trend that's been going on for maybe more than a month now. I just keep seeing teams pick core Monkey King, and every single time I see it picked, if it wins, it's not because of the Monkey King, and if they lose, the Monkey King just looks utterly useless.
Yeah.
Like sometimes Monkey King just gets shut down for the first 5 minutes of the game, and he never recovers. Ever. Like he doesn't flash farm. He can't really commit aggressively into fights because he's too squishy. He just gets bursted down. And I think there was even a like a core Monkey King game just earlier today or yesterday, depending on what time zone you're in, with ESL. And the core Monkey King did absolutely nothing.
Right.
It looked totally useless. So I'm not super convinced, but we'll see how this works for Midas Club.
The only time I've really liked a Monkey King is when Ice is playing it, and he's able to. A lot of the time, it's surprising. He actually just split pushes most of the time. He's in the tree. You know, let's say he's on the dire. He's in the trees down in that bottom lane, close to the tier 2 tower, using his Boundless Strike, using his tree dance to jump in and out, push the waves quickly. And that allows him to get that flash farm that maybe you can't get otherwise. And Ice, of course, playing it in the offlane role. He does a very good job of it, too. I'm curious as to what the roles... Is it still kind of that offlane, or is he more played in the core or mid position? Because I've seen it in numerous roles here for Monkey King.
I think for core, the most common tends to be safe lane. And I think that might be what we're looking at here. There's some nice synergy with the Monkey King and the Shadow Shaman. Monkey King not really great at building damage, so the Shadow Shaman makes up for that, and the Shackles lockdown, of course, really great for getting your Jingu stacks up. So I think the Shadow Shaman pick is fairly solid. Can be a little bit tough to play against the Earth Spirit in some situations because you do have to sometimes put yourself in a little bit of a compromising position to get your wards down the way that you might like, and then you just get rolled in on, silenced, then bursted down there. Yeah. But yeah, so to answer your question, the core Monkey King tends to be, I think from what I've seen, mostly safe lane. Occasionally mid, depending on what the mid matchup is.
Yep.
That's the other thing for the core Monkey King. It seems so matchup dependent, right? If you've got good matchups, then he can crush the lane and look amazing. But if the matchups aren't so great, then I think you run into big trouble. But Doom into Wraith King, interesting.
It's very interesting. Like, I'm concerned, but tell me about this matchup. Why Doom into Wraith King?
I don't even know if it's that good. I'd consider Wraith King to generally be pretty good against Doom. Doom has garbage armor, and Wraith King hits like a truck, and Wraith King does not care at all. He has zero cares about getting doomed most of the time.
He wants to get doomed.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, doom me. Go for it. Like,
see what happens.
Yeah. It's I guess the one thing is that maybe Wraith King can't, like, be less likely to buy an armlet now, but there are other Wraith King builds. It's not something that you have to buy. Infamous, I wonder if they'll go for the Magnus.
Yeah,
I think Wraith King Magnus is
really good. They did that
good.
yesterday, right? That was the combo they pulled yesterday, or was some team? I think you were just talking about it.
It was Midas. It was Midas Club actually that did it. I think it was the HFN. I want to say it was the HFN Wraith King. He went like 14, 2, and 20 or something. It was
sounds right.
Crazy. Yep. Yeah. That's just HFN when he gets off to a good start. I think.
I was thinking this. I was thinking the Doom was going to dissuade them from the Death Prophet pick, but they picked it anyways. That's very interesting.
Well, it is interesting because the Death Prophet, if you can Doom her before she gets her ultimate off, then sure. But if she's already got like 1 or 2 Spirit Siphons off and has the Exorcism running, I don't know if he really cares that much about the Doom either. I'm guessing it's going to be... I'm not actually sure if it's going to be offlane Doom or offlane Shaker. We have been seeing more position for Doom recently, but I think having Doom and Shadow Shaman as your 2 supports is very greedy. They both need farm, 100%. So
that's
maybe a little bit better to go Shaker Shaman as your 2 supports, but even that's kind of greedy.
Yeah, I agree. Wow. Okay, the Tinker's coming out as your last pick, so there is some split push here to keep this game even. For Mandy, Infamous's team fight just looks really good. And you have the Wraith King with Empower to farm up like crazy. Again, I guess a lot of it does come down to that HFN Monkey King, like you were talking about. If this guy gets off to a fast start, maybe he looks good, but you said you were less convinced by him. How do you feel about the Monkey King, and how do you feel about Midas Club Elite's draft in general with these this last pick Tinker?
I think Midas Club Elite's draft is kind of... I think it's really weird, honestly. I think they have good pick-off, but not a whole lot of anything else, really. I think that the Tinker slows down the lineup a bit as well. If they didn't have the Shadow Shaman, I think the lineup would be straight garbage because they wouldn't have any building damage at all. So it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter how well they did in fights or like how many pickoffs they got, because they just wouldn't be able to push any towers, and I think they would lose the game that way. Maybe with the Shadow Shaman, they could still make it work, but I worry about the fact that I think their draft is overall fairly greedy, and I can definitely see Infamous getting the ball rolling really quickly this game. I'm expecting like maybe even a Deso Blink or like a Blade Mail Blink Deso Wraith King kind of a build.
Right.
Magnus only really needs to get 1 item, which is the Blink Dagger, to be really effective. And I'm also concerned. I think Infamous might just be able to go aggro tri-lane here. I think the really nice thing about picking the AA as the first overall grab is that might just give you the better tri-lane versus tri-lane no matter what in this draft pool.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Midas Elite's tri-lane can even come close to fighting Infamous's. So they're going to have to go and get some wards out right at the start of the game and hopefully scout what Infamous are doing. Because if Infamous put together a successful tri-lane versus tri-lane, I think that's going to be really worrying for Midas Elite.
Schofield gets a ward down, but Duster, yeah, Schofield makes a nice play moving around instead of going towards the Shadow Shaman. He'll move away, so he looks like he's a bit deeper. They did ping him out. I think they saw him with the tier 2 tower vision, which is pretty ridiculous. Even so, they should be able to cut him off the path of retreat. King RD's going to come in. He'll probably get Fisher. Maybe they go for this. I don't think so. I think Schofield can get away, especially with... Yeah, he'll do some damage, but he's got roll anyways. And going back to what you were talking about, it looks exactly like what you were talking about. It's an infamous aggressive tri-lane, and it's a very dangerous tri-lane at that. Wraith King, you can get Cold Feet with Chilling Touch. It's another bit of damage. And then Schofield with his ability to control some of these heroes. They might just have to dodge, and we'll see if that's going to be the case if Midas can move around and maybe notice this is happening.
Yeah, it's a tough call. Is Mickey, you can try to snipe the courier?
It's looking like it. Here? He's got a Shagbark too. It's freaking Shagbark running around.
Oh no,
wow.
They're not thinking about it. Tinkbot's not inside the fountain, dude. He's dead.
Oh no.
Rest
they didn't see him.
Tinkbot.
Oh my god, this courier's dead. No, the courier. Oh no, I can't believe it. How did that happen? He had it. Oh my god, the micro at the last second. Wow, and that's, I mean, it's not that much wasted for HFN, but damn, that's kind of disheartening. You had that courier.
Yeah, I thought he had it for sure, but infamous with the quick reaction. I guess you can't see him on the minimap when he's disguised, so it must have just been the instant that he landed that first auto attack. Somebody knew exactly what was going on. Support reflexes kicked in, and they microed the courier.
That's an Excel play if I've ever seen one. Although Pepita's in some trouble mid right now. They already used laser, but King RD can't do any damage. He's on the other side of the Fisher wall, so just kind of some harass here. And Pepita, I mean, he had an excellent game last game on this Invoker. Shackles coming out. Yeah, he's dead. Schofield's able to auto-attack him down even without the help of the Wraith King. So while they didn't go aggro tri-lane, they still have the better advantage because Midas Club Elite looks like they were trying to dodge, and that turns into a kill anyway.
Yeah, also nobody is top at the moment. Tavo is trying to gank Doom.
Are they going to get this? The Fisher Wall? Spirit Siphon? I don't know. I don't think so. He's got a salve. Pepita's fine. That's rough. This is a free lane for Tava, or for Stinger, excuse me. And, like, once you get some levels on Magnus, things get a lot easier, I feel like. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I think as soon as he gets, like, level 3, he becomes very difficult to do all that much about. You know, you might even see Stinger, if he's feeling super confident about how this lane is playing out, can just get, like, 2 points in Empower by level 3, and either, you know, even if the lane's going well, then he's going to sit here and farm, and if it's not going well, he can just back off into the jungle and go and grab some CS there.
He pick up the
Shockwave here at level 2, sorry.
So that, I mean, stock standard. He is going to get pushed out a little bit. He's going to try for a pull. The Shadow Shaman will be able to, I think, stop this from happening. Yeah, fine, that's fine. Easy cancel of the pull, but bottom lane, maybe they're going to find Tavo here. Scorchdrift will go, and that will signal the back. I think here they're actually, AA might be in trouble, but Schofield hitting him a little bit too hard. Decides not to go for it. Schofield actually getting low.
Shaker.
Oh, that's a Fisher. This is going to be a kill, I think. Schofield, Fisher, not blocked. They have the Chilling Touch coming out. Cold Feet, Wraith Fire Blast, Rolling Boulder, the Fairy Fire. They turn it around. Oh, man, that should have been a kill on Schofield, but the turn coming in from the Wraith King. Meanwhile, Shackles top lane. Magnus, all right.
And it's like... He got one hit in the whole duration of Shackles. That was not very well coordinated from the Midas Elite side.
This is a, by the way, he just denied himself, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
20 seconds on the sideline? Sure.
26 seconds, yeah. That's a long time.
Well, anyway.
24? I think it's 24, but yeah, it's...
He's down for a while, that's for sure. But things going pretty well so far. Infamous have all the top last hitters.
Oh, they got the Jingu stacks this time.
Skewer back into the tower? No. There's the Boundless Strike, and Stinger's done so. HFN with the Jingu Mastery. More than enough damage, and that's really what should happen this lane. The amount of damage you can pump out with the Shadow Shaman plus the Jingu Mastery on the Monkey King should be a couple of easy kills if they can find it.
They needed that pretty badly. The Magnus is still going to get some nice experience here under the tower. Double range creep and 3 melee creeps pushing in. This is dangerous.
Fisher, Cold Feet comes out. Schofield's going to die to the tower. That's too heavy of a dive. Way too heavy. Once you miss that rolling boulder, you might need to commit to the back. Skewer from Stinger trying to keep himself alive from HFN, who does have the Jingu Mastery. Sacks back up. Shockwave coming in, but that's a free kill for that Tinker in the mid lane. Oops.
Yeah, it's not great that the Tinker is Like, the Tinker's doing decently, but I think my big concern for Midas Elite is that the Tinker is not a hero that's gonna come and kind of turn the game around. If they lose, if they lose the other two lanes and Tinker's lane wins, I don't think that's a good look for them at all. They really do need this Monkey King to be doing decently, and he's at least catching up now. I got that kill, getting some decent farm in lane, so that's at least good news.
They will have the rotation from the supports, AA and Schofield. Vision-wise, the lane, it's a lane ward, not a ward towards the river for Midas Club Elite. So HFN, they have no mana for Stinger. He does have a Mango. They're going to pop the Empower. Cold Feet will come out. They need a Boulder Smash. They miss it, and he might be fine. They need a Rolling Boulder to get something going here. Boundless Strike, perfectly timed from HFN. He might actually live from this. That's insane. And they lose Kotaro in the bottom lane. Nice rotation from Davo, who's level 4, by the way.
Yeah, he's actually doing pretty decently on this Doom. Just got some phase boots picked up. Started with Boots of Speed, which was, I guess, a little bit surprising, but seems to be doing quite well. The Wraith King's still finding decent farm and is queuing up a Mask of Madness. Seen this item on Wraith King all that much, but
it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's fine. He doesn't really want the armlet that badly. It's pretty good, cost efficient.
Ooh, Mandy, they need a Crypt Swarm. One Crypt Swarm should do the job. He doesn't go for it. The Fairy Fire came out, and Pepita, with the Exorcism, doesn't dive. But he will push the wave out. Meanwhile, here comes Schofield, looking for the Boulder Smash. I don't think it's going to be enough as the Shrine comes in. Meanwhile, they get the kill on Tavo down bottom, and HFN will find Stinger in the top lane. Thanks, guys. Thanks for fighting while I was watching the other fight. Great stuff, team. Real good stuff.
Was that just a straight-up solo kill, bottom?
I think so.
Just dive in Doom, and Tavo ends up dropping. That's...
He needs to be careful. He's not 6 yet. Infernal Blitz,
yeah,
I think he's dead.
Is he just dead?
I think he's dead.
What is happening on the bottom lane?
Questionable plays, perhaps.
I was just praising the level of Dota in the draft, and yeah. Oh, can you get it?
Nice.
Yoink.
He yoinked the shit out of that one. King RD is, well, so much for that. Good effort, but Schofield will take it. This is a weird game. Let me tell you, man. Like, nobody was top for a while. They get a kill bottom. Tavo's doing well, but then he dies. And then the Wraith, I don't know what the hell's going on. Things are falling in the background. People are dying. It's crazy.
Whoops, I'm knocking things over on my desk.
Dude.
Good shit. But I think overall, Infamous, I mean, still looking really good. They've got the top 3 CS. Stinger has now picked up the 2 points in Empower, making his way through the jungle pretty quickly. I like this method of kind of quote-unquote dealing with the Monkey King. You know he's insane in lane, so just don't go to his lane. Just don't really don't give him any kills. Don't feed him too much.
Pepita, he's got a regen rune and Spirit Siphon. The lasers, though, too much with the heat-seeking missiles, and now Schofield is getting dove heavily. He's got a rolling boulder, but he's going to have to do it carefully. He can't even get it off, and Tavo just tanks the tower, heals back up with the Scorched Earth. That is 2 kills. The rotation, in fact, hurts Infamous, and back and forth we go. Now a 1K lead for Midas Club Elite, despite the fact that Pepita was wrecking in that mid lane for a bit.
Yep. This game looking somewhat similar to the previous, right? Where Midas Elite have a good early game, but Infamous still is kind of farming away. I don't know if Infamous necessarily have the better late game here. I guess it basically comes down to your opinion of Tinker as a hero. Like, is this a game that Tinker can potentially 1v5?
I don't have a high opinion of Tinker in general, so in this game I'm not really feeling it, but that's just me. I personally like the fact that there's this big team fight potential. I suppose if he's able to split up the map enough, it could work out well, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. Meanwhile, Excel getting chased down by King RD. He's got Cold Feet and Ice Vortex. He will use the Ice Vortex. I believe Excel is in trouble. I believe he's in fact dead.
He is very slow.
He has no boots.
Use the Vortex.
I mean, he is so poor. He's actually 233 net worth, by the way. Just throwing that out there. 8 minutes in, he has 200 net worth. That's it.
First it was Pilot Die, then it was Solo. Now it's Excel.
Now it's Excel.
Yeah, going for that poorest at 10-minute record. We'll see. A quick smoke up. This has not been scouted by any of these 4 dire.
They have 4 wards? Oh my god! You're not even kidding, dude. That's crazy. Well, that's a lot of vision.
There's indeed. Oh, jump in. HFN gonna force Stinger back and away from the tower here, so he will be able to get a bit more building damage, but that does mean that the Primal Spring is on cooldown for a bit.
They're ready to go. Rolling boulder. Boulder smash. Yeah, that boulder wasn't great. Shockwave. Boundless strike. He might be able to get out 3 seconds before the tree dances up. They need one auto attack, and they find it. He's out of there. He is gone. He's gonna jump down. Oh, Monkey King, the classic. Easy.
Schofield, I guess he doesn't use double tap to put down remnants for the rolling boulder, because he put the rock slightly to the side. Maybe he did it intentionally.
He was like rolling here, and he put the rock like here.
Yeah. He was rolling along this line, and then the rock is over here. I don't know if like the terrain messed him up, or he knew that it wasn't gonna land, so he intentionally didn't. But in that case, well, just don't put it down.
Wraith King is going to lose his reincarnation. Maybe even not. He's actually fine. Right. And okay, so he's actually. It's not worth it, dude. You know how long your cooldown is for your ultimate? Come on. He's crazy.
No, chop those creeps.
Vampiric Aura level 1. Wait, he's fine. Oh, maybe not. He's gonna lose. He's losing his Ankh. See ya. The slow is up. At least he got him. Can he turn? He's looking for her. Perhaps the Shadow Shaman, who they will find.
Nice roll.
Yeah. So it's worth it now. Heat-seeking missiles will come out from Mandy, who does have boots of travel, soaring, and a bottle, by the way.
Stealing the stack.
This is a lot of damage. Kotaro is in trouble. He needs to back up. There's the Doom, and he's just dead. He just walks up too far, and he is dead to heat-seeking missiles. The Doom killed him, but Schofield now in trouble. Has to roll away after the Fisher comes out. He hits the boulder on the way through, but Doom is pretty speedy with Scorched Earth and Phase and Drum, so he'll get a double kill for Tavo. And, wow, that was a weird fight. They will take mid, which I guess is good news for Infamous, but that's still not a great trade for them overall.
I do not know about running forward like that. You know, the Wraith King's already super low. They do get the Shaman kill, but so what? It's just Shadow Shaman. He's got less than 1k net worth. He's gonna grab a couple of CS here on mid lane. That's gonna help him a bit.
Dude, he's rich in comparison to Excel. Excel finally has boots. He's like, oh my god, we're in there. But
actually, he's got 2 points in Ice Vortex. Interesting.
I think I've seen this a little bit.
Oh, I guess it's mostly because it's that 6 Spirit Siphon synergy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's magical now. It's been magical for a while, but I guess that's the main rationale. You do see the Cold Feet max a decent amount, but I don't know if they really need the extra lockdown. I feel like most of the heroes on Midas Elite, if they get hit by Wraith King stun, they're in big trouble.
Ooh, speaking of Wraith King, they have rotated every hero down to bottom. He has no reincarnation. Good Ice Vortex. Wraith Fire Blast coming up with the shackles. As soon as he turned around, he was dead. He will lose another life.
Excel, run!
And yeah, he's gone. He's so speedy with the Ice Vortex and boots finally. He gets out of there quickly.
Yeah. But it looks like they are going to end up losing this tier 1 down at bottom. HFN hasn't shown us what build he's going to be going for just yet. It's interesting. A lot of core Monkey King players have been going for the Battle Fury recently to make up for his lack of flash farm. Some people, I guess it depends on how you think about itemization in Dota. Should you try and emphasize your strengths, or should you try and cover your weaknesses? And I feel like there's arguments for both on Monkey King as a hero.
Oh, Excel. You went all over the map just to die to a Fisher block and a shackle. And, Kotaro is not really concerned. He's just farming away. Do they have the blink yet for the mag? He's pretty close, 1,600. That's really the big item. And despite them losing a lot of money in these past few minutes, again, you have Empower. You have the ability to farm quickly with Pepita. I don't know if you should be too worried yet. The one thing I would be worried about is that Mandy is very farmed, and he almost has blink himself.
Yeah, he's pretty big. I think I'm right with you, though, about being worried about Tinker in general. Oh, Doom onto this Death Prophet. Kick away? Not gonna be enough to save him.
All right, that's not good.
No, I mean, Infamous just kind of getting picked to pieces. They're not really ready to 5-man. Their lineup's not quite at that stage, and I think it's okay for them to just kind of continue farming with the Empower on the Wraith King and see how things go. Like we're saying, Monkey King and Tinker are both kind of heroes where if they're out of position once, they get stunned and they just die instantly, right? There's a little bit of save for Midas Elite in the sense that they have a Fissure for counter initiation, and King RD is not too far away from a blink, but this lead could also disappear from Midas Elite very quickly.
Right,
so
it's 1 RP away,
nicely.
pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you really need here for Infamous. It's easier said than done, though. And like you mentioned, King RD, who is the support Earthshaker, is pretty much as close as this Magnus is to Blink Dagger. He's actually a little bit further away than I thought, but it's still... With that, the Earthshaker Blink is a huge item. He will find the Fissure for Schofield. I believe he's dead. Infernal Blade, Echo Slam. They really wanted that kill, and boy, did they get it. Oh, wow.
Sidesteps the Ice Blast.
Easy.
Very nice. Bottom at the same time, Magnus in some trouble.
Oh, he's dead. And he is very close to his blink. He's going to lose some money here. He doesn't even have RP skill.
By the Shaker.
Yeah, all right, well.
Some item drops, some BM. Kill him in the end.
So, HFN is going Battle Fury, by the way. I don't know if you mentioned this, but he's going to grab the item. Well, he has a Perseverance anyway. That's what I should say.
I mean, yeah, he could technically buy Lincoln Sphere or Lotus Orb, but I would be surprised. But yeah, I think the Battle Fury build is okay. Like I said, it covers the weakness of not really having that much flash farm. Kind of guarantees your late game a little bit more. And this pickup is just crazy. Do they have the Boundless Strike? Oh, 1 second. Boundless Strike.
Dude, he just respawned. Poor Schofield, man. It's getting dumpstered this game. And they're going to get it tier 2 with Serpent Wards. All right. Man. This game is all of a sudden getting very rough for Infamous. Like, this was like a 3K lead not too long ago. This is going to turn into a 6K lead after this tower. Meanwhile, mid lane, Tavo is going to kill Excel with pretty much 2-shotting him. No Doom required. Tavo will get cold feeted. Maybe he can get a kill, but the Scorched Earth is too good. The Doom's going to come out, but that's on the Wraith King. He has Reincarnation. I don't think he really cares. Although Stinger's taking a lot of damage. He will be able to back himself away. And, well, just like that, it's a nice little kill. That's a unstoppable spree picked up by Kotaro, who is now top in the net worth. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, this Wraith King is going to be scary this game. And I was about to say that Infamous look a bit lost, but they do have the Blink picked up on the Magnus now. So maybe that's something that they can kind of rally around. Get a couple of smoke pickoffs going, maybe get their supports back into the game a little bit more. And I think the combo potential from both teams is actually pretty nutty. Maybe a little bit crazier for Infamous just because of the like RP, Boulder Smash, Empower, Ice Blast, Silence. Like, if everybody gets RP, they're all just dead. Midas Elite, of course, have the Shaker, and they get the Boundless Strike to layer on top, and the March can kind of be running the entire time. Yeah, and the Wukong's coming. That's true. But okay, this is the big deal. They got the Mag Blink. Let's see what they get.
The smoke, I don't think the ward caught it. They really want HFN. I think he's backing, or is he going to wait for his creep wave? Boundless strikes it up. Yeah, he gets to the trees. He's out of there. I think they'll be able to get away. They see the Rasa, which is really not the target you want, but they're going to go for him anyway. They'll find this kill, I think. Heat-seeking missiles will come out. Skewer back. Oh, that blink timing from Mandy. Shackles will come out, not there. And the March coming in with heat-seeking missiles. Schofield taking a bit of damage. HFN's on the backside. They need to be careful. These heat-seeking missiles are rough. Tavo, oh, the Ice Blast swinging at this there from Excel. Exorcism is going to get popped. There's the Echo Slam. They're looking to turn. RP onto 2. Can they get these kills? Pepita's so low. He'll get dropped. It's a 3-for-1 trade. HFN, Wukong's command. They need to be careful. They've got the Reincarnation. There it is. The slow's coming out. Now you need to be careful. Schofield, he wants to use that Magnetize. Can't get it dropped. Meanwhile, Kotaro's getting shredded. He's got to back away. Mandy's coming in. They've got the Wraithfire Blast. This might be too aggressive. They're jumping in. Stinger, Skewer. It'll hit, but here comes the Rasa. Shackles. They'll find the kill onto the Magnus. And a 3-man stun. They get the kill onto Kotaro, and Schofield's gonna die next. Jingu Mastery is too good for HFN as he finds himself a double kill, and all 5 are dead for Infamous. Ooh, baby.
Infamous just... Wraith King running into the Wukong's command, I think, was a little bit questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just he was thinking, oh, I've still got my ultimate. We can still kind of fight, but the RP's already down. Everybody else basically has no mana, and Pepita's already dead. So the only damage that's going to come in after that is damage that he's doing. So Midas Elite clean up pretty nicely. They don't have that much better sustain, but I guess easy for the Tinker to pop in and out of the fight, get some more value there since they're fighting right under the tower. And that was not what Infamous were hoping to find with their first big Blink Dagger reveal.
Good boulder smash, but I think Mag's still in trouble. Ice Blast is going to hit onto 1, not 2. They're looking for HFN. Rolling boulder, he misses the stone. I don't think he had one, actually. It's on cooldown. Or something. It looks like he missed the stone, actually. But either way, that will be it for Infamous. The game is still not over. There's still a long way to go, I think. They are down to 8K, which is a bit rough. Honestly, they need to deal with this Tinker. He has done so much damage. I did not give him credit when they picked the hero, when he was playing the hero in the early game, but he did like 5,000 damage, which is by far the most for his team in that last fight. And the game goes drastically different if they get that Blink Skewer at the beginning of the engagement.
Infamous have to be really careful with the positions that they take these fights in, because if the Wukong's command and the March get laid down in the wrong way, ooh, damage? Death Prophet, okay for now.
Good Yules, Spirit Siphon keeping him up and alive. He might go down. The Doom even comes out, but can they find anybody else? It looks like it'll be a 1-for-1 trade. King RD in some trouble. Shockwave will come in. Tavo's still in the tree line. The Tinker TP's out. Pretty good trade, all things considered, for Midas Club Elite, so damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. The gold numbers favoring. Oh, they found the Tinker, but I don't think they can get him.
It looks more like they found Kotaro at this point in terms of the damage he's taking. There's the reincarnation. HFN, he's got the tree dancing too, but he is still getting slowed up. They might be able to get this kill. The Wukong's command, they need to bring him down. He's getting low, but he's pretty tanky in the Wukong. Shockwave Skewer. RP comes out, but there's no follow-up. They've already lost one. They're going to lose a second, it looks like. Blink get heat-seeking missiles. Ice Blast will get HFN, I think. Yeah, it will, but they'll lose 3, almost 4 heroes. They're going to lose 4. Maybe? Tavo, hello?
Oops.
Oh, Tavo. It was close. Well.
I think it was actually kind of a bait from Stinger. I think his Blink Dagger was actually off cooldown for a second there.
All right, they might get Tavo here. It might make it a bit better. Stinger, the auto attack damage from Rasa is pretty good, and he will give his life for it, but, I mean, these are trades that are, like, that last part of the engagement is barely in favor of Infamous there. I mean, it's looking pretty rough right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the game looks kind of clowny, but Midas Elite are just pushing their advantage really well. They know that they can continue taking these team fights. They're kind of outplaying Infamous, I think, at the same time. And they do actually, they might even just go again since they've got the Shaker Echo Slam up and ready to go. I still believe in the strength of somewhat of the Infamous high ground. And ooh, this
ward spotted the Pepita running in. They can take this pretty quickly. They don't have Doom or Rasa.
And look at these crits from the Wraith King.
Yeah, he is crushing it. The crits on creeps and things like. Very good. They're going to get Roche. It looks like Mandy's going to jump in. Not into the pit, though. Aegis is going to get picked up. Now they're going to try to fight this Ice Blast coming in. It's already a lot of damage to the Serpent Wards. They're going to lose Excel. They're going to lose, I believe... Yeah, they got the Aegis of Pepita instead of Kotaro, so he's dead for a full 50 seconds. He will lose his Aegis potentially on Pepita. They're going to come in. Echo Slam. They're looking for this kill. They'll find the Aegis. 1 for 3 trades so far, including the Aegis. Now the laser blows up Schofield on top. And Pepita will lose his life again. And Mandy's godlike. And now we'll probably have an Ags at about 1,000 gold. Which means this game is getting pretty close to, I don't want to say over, but it feels kind of rough. I've said that a lot.
Infamous just can't seem to... They can't seem to find an initiation at all. I wonder if they just need, like... I don't even know if Blink on Wraith King would help that much. But normally with this kind of, like, Wraith King plus Magnus setup, the thing that you have going for you is that the Wraith King can kind of just wade into the middle of the fight, get some vision, and then it gives the Magnus the opportunity to find a good RP. But Midas Elite, their lineup doesn't really have to play clumped up at all. Earthshaker's always hanging way in the back. They've got the Doom in the front lines, but you don't really want to solo RP the Doom. The Monkey King can also really pick his spots really well in terms of when he wants to jump into the fight and fully commit. And the Tinker is also super elusive. So that seems to be the big struggle for Infamous, is that they just can't get a structured team fight to happen. And interestingly enough, Tinker not even going to go for the Ags just yet. Instead, opts for the BOT2. So wants to keep playing this pick-off game with the rest of his team.
He wants to be in, and they want to fight pretty often, and I don't blame them for how much they're winning. And they find Stinger here. This fight's pretty much already over. That's their only initiation. They need a big RP. They're going to get off the or the Hex immediately. Now they find Excel, who dies within 1 auto attack. Kotaro is just farming. There's nothing he could do. He needs BKB desperately. He's actually cut off in terms of getting back to the base. He's got to run right into the Tinker, who doesn't really have any way of locking him down, but still they've scouted him. They know where he is. Instead, they're looking top. They're going to find the Doom on Pepita. He's got an Atos. He's got a Yules. Won't be able to use them. He's going to get dropped and killed. And that is an easy pick for Tavo and HFN as they continue on crushing. Serpent Wards, they're going to lose Kotaro Hayama's reincarnation. They will get the kill, however, onto the Shadow Shaman. Schofield in deep, needs to be careful. Kotaro's going to try to bring some of these wards down, instead looking for this kill onto Mandy. Maybe they get it. It's going to be close. Magna tries his drop down. They've got the Wukong's command. Mandy gets crit and killed, but HFN's damage is insane. They blow him away with the Wukong's command. It's not a bad trade for Infamous, but again, they still lose some heroes in the process of getting these kills.
Yeah, at least they brought down a Tinker, so actually it makes it a pretty lucrative fight for Infamous, though they are gonna maybe lose a little bit more here. That's some big damage on Stinger, but I think he'll be okay. A couple of weird decisions from the Tinker, and maybe like a little bit of sloppy play. He left his items behind in his stash when he TP'd over to mid, which is why he couldn't do anything to the Wraith King. And he's also already skilled up the 3rd point in Rearm, which I find a little bit surprising. I don't think the extra 0.75 seconds really do that much.
Yeah, the mana cost is rough, kind of.
Yeah, the mana cost is crazy, especially given his current mana pool. Like, he's got 2 cycles now, kind of total. Or maybe even just 1 if he casts all of his, if he also, you know, lays down a march and spams everything out. So I'm a little bit surprised that he's grabbed that point, but yeah, I think they're still pretty well in control of this game. Farming all over the map. The pickup potential is still huge. Infamous, maybe still some, you know, there's still some comeback potential in here. They got a BKB now up on their Wraith King. He's finally gotten to his level 18, so he's at least got the max rank on the ulti at long last, which kind of makes it, goes from a terrible to mediocre to great ability as he levels it up.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, 40 seconds is kind of ridiculous. They'll find the Earth Spirit. Not a big kill, but a kill nonetheless. They TP in Stinger. He needs to be careful. He uses his Shadow Amulet. Heat-seeking missile should hit. No, he Shadow Amuleted in time. He keeps throwing them out, though. I mean, it's a lot. He's just rearming like crazy. And they're going to go for a skewer. Good blink back from Tavo. That's insane. Some of this reaction time from Midas Club Elite has been on point.
Midas Club Elite, jump in.
See ya.
Hey, see ya, Stinger. The way that they play with a lead and how momentum-based they are as a team is so impressive. Like, I don't know if it's just a confidence thing as well. They found the Wraith King on mid. That's life number 1.
Yeah, they can kill him. He's got BKB, but nope, Doom comes out. He's dead. Again, for the 2nd time within a 2-second span, pretty much. He's got buyback. He might need to use it. They're just diving. HFN has his own BKB, which kind of makes him unkillable, short of them hitting a good RP. But again, 20 seconds without this Magnus. And
we had like 1 RP cast this whole game.
Yeah, he cast 1 in the early fight where they got the double RP bottom on. It was like under their tower here at the bottom lane. Yep. He RP'd 2, and then he died right after. Somebody died right after. I think it was the Death Prophet. So, but that's it. That's the only time I can remember that he cast an RP at all. Meanwhile, our Spirit's dead again. Shackles. This pickoff game has been absolutely outstanding for Midas Elite, and it's just looked really good.
The way that they play when they're kind of feeling themselves is ridiculous. They seem so confident. Everybody is playing really well together. And Pepita even pops the ultimate there, and then HFN's like, nope, no dice, you're dead.
HFN is crushing it.
Yeah, I doubted the Core Monkey King, but yeah, it shouldn't have. I don't doubt HFN. I doubted the Core Monkey King, and it turns out that HFN knows exactly what he's doing. They made the right lane swap, I think, early on as well. To just put the Monkey King back on the safe lane, give him some farm, have the Shadow Shaman just sit there and babysit him. And ever since then, he's made a ton of space. Infamous just don't look very well coordinated this game at all. They got the blink up on the mag, they tried for the 1 smoke, they lost that fight, and ever since they've just been picked to pieces.
I mean,
but I don't know if that's
RP, but it's onto the Monkey King. He's got Wukong's command. And they're doing some damage, but here comes the armor. Now the Doom's coming in as well. Boundless Strike destroys that poor Magnus. Already 4 dead. Kataro's going to make it away, but... I mean, at this point, they're just running out into the lanes, getting a little bit of farm, then backing up when they inevitably get killed. Or attempt getting killed. And they're going to lose Rax here, one would assume. I mean, this game feels like it's been over for a good 10 minutes, I think, base skip.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like Infamous playing poorly and not finding opportunities that were there, or just Midas Elite not presenting any opportunities at all. They're going to kill off Pepita here again.
That should be game.
It's tough to say. Like, I don't know if I kind of want to say, like, oh, you know, I think the classic commentator kind of thing to say here is like, oh, Stinger doesn't look that confident on the mag necessarily, but I don't even know if it's that. I think the Midas Elite, like, split push / pickoff game with the cherry on top that is the Tinker with that final pick, I think it's just been really strong and really well executed. I don't even know what Infamous could have done all that differently.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's mostly Midas Club Elite playing well. I do think that there were some issues with Schofield and even with Excel playing their supports. They didn't get a whole lot done. And the Magnus, it looks like he was getting a good timed Blink Dagger, but that kind of fell behind. And they took fights in pretty bad positions, like in that bottom lane, for example. So we could say it's a million things. What it really comes down to is Midas Complete just played better. They just played absolutely fantastic.
Watch this.
Oh,
double damage
Jesus
Monkey King.
Christ. That's great. Well, that is unfortunate. You feel when you get 3-shot by a Monkey King.
No chance to do anything at all. Just dead.
Yeah. Good news for Infamous. Even if they lose this series, which is looking extraordinarily likely, I would say about 99.9% chance, then they still do have the lower bracket to work with. But they would rather be in the grand finals, I'm sure, which Midas Complete are about one step away. Probably just Roche at this point, maybe not even that. But we'll wait and see how this game ends. It kind of feels like a slaughter at this point. Not really sure what else you can do.
That's probably just getting spammed back by rockets. They can't even keep the creeps out of their base. Anyone gonna get caught on the way out here? Nope. Tinker blinks right into them.
This could be huge. Yeah, he's in trouble. The silence comes out. Nice kill.
All
so
right.
Kotaro. I think he probably thought he was gonna get his TP canceled anyway.
Yeah, his BKB was just about to run out.
Yeah.
Lag.
Interesting. Well, anyway. They do finally take her a nice kill. I mean, they need about 1 million more of those kills in order for it to be, you know, anything near useful, I would say. But really good stuff so far from Midas Club Elite. We can just continue to sing their praises. We can wait till Roche is up. But at this point, they've essentially, especially if they kill Kotaro a second time here, they've essentially won the game. They've essentially won the series at this point.
Now we have the battle of, well, it's not really much of a battle. I think King RD is just gonna Echo Slam Schofield, but Schofield could potentially get a 3-man bowler smash here, and then maybe something good happens after that.
Yeah.
King dead for a bit, but the way I picture this going is that he gets Echo Slammed, Monkey King mashes BKB, puts the Wukong's command down on top of the Wraith King, and instantly gets slain by the Wukongs, and the other heroes just don't even make it even close to in time to do anything.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. But, well, let's say if all things stay the way they have been, Midas Club Elites, they win this series, the bracket will be then at that point, it'll be Unknown versus Lucchini in the lower bracket, and then the winner of that will face off against Infamous, and then the winner of that will play up against Midas Club Elite. So, some interesting stuff here still to come. I believe we have just the next series is the last series for today. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's 2 series per day. So got the lower bracket match and then the grand final tomorrow,
which I won't be here to see, sadly. I will be traveling, as many of the other Moonduckers will. So,
yep.
we
I'm going to
will.
be casting with a different person every day.
It keeps things fresh and interesting.
Yeah, get some practice in.
Yeah. But it's been a fun time, man. Let me tell you, I miss casting with you. I miss chatting with you and hanging out.
Yeah. Gotta get to an event at some point.
Yeah, you were at Galaxy Battles, which of course I couldn't make it to, and I was sad that I couldn't be there with all my friends and stuff like that. But yeah, for sure. I mean, we used to see each other a lot. I feel like
this season.
It's true. Yes, that's very true. I'm sure we'll see each other at least once. Did you go to TI this past year? Because I didn't. I don't know who went.
I'm definitely going next year though.
Cool.
No way I'm missing out. Sucks reading Twitter while TI is on, and everybody's like, "Oh, hey, let's go get food, or let's do this, or post this picture of everybody hanging out." I'm like, "Oh, here I am."
Yeah, I felt that way too. The only thing that made it better was I have I'm living with obviously Andrew Zyrie, the Moonduck. You know, everybody knows who Zyrie is anyway, but that's not important. Yep. And then also I have two other roommates, Elise, which is Andrew's friend, and then Carlo, who's a friend from his hometown. I think they've been friends forever. And Carlo's a Dota player. He's just gotten into Dota over the past few months, I would say. He's pretty high MMR already. I should say he used to play Han. Anyway, he's actually a really cool dude. So me and Carlo would put on TI on like our Chromecast. We would hang out and chill while Carlo's spamming pub games. He plays like 10 pub games a day. He's up to like 3.5K or something ridiculous. He was like 2.6K a month, like 2 months ago, I think, or something like that. Like he's gained 1,000 MMR. And he's one of those players that's just like freakishly good at video games. You know, those people that are just kind of insane.
Yeah.
It's just like
no matter what they pick up.
Yeah.
Have you been playing much Dota, or are you still like?
I haven't actually. I've been fiending PUBG, and I'm waiting for the patch to come out for Dota. I'm kind of sort of sick of PUBG games now. Yeah, that's what I hear. So when the patch comes out, I'll play a lot more. I haven't played too much Dota this past couple months, but I try to play in 5 stacks and stuff like that. I don't really like playing solo. The thing about PUBG is I prefer playing solo games of PUBG way more than I prefer playing solo games of Dota because of how, like, the ups and downs. Let me put it this way. At the lowest of the low, Dota is 10 times worse than the lowest of the low in PUBG, is how I should say. Just because it's just is so rage-inducing. I don't know. Anyway, it's not.
Yeah, it's easy to brush off a PUBG loss. It's like, oh, queue up again. There we go. Easy. Meanwhile, Dota is a bit... I think that's an important part of Dota. Like, the highs can be that much higher because the lows
exactly.
are so low.
You have, like, when you get that cool fight, like we see down bottom, when you have that cool initiation, you get a cool, like, RP or black hole, makes things way more interesting. But as we expected, the Wraith King will fall. Also, it helps to note that I'm way better at PUBG than I am at Dota. Like, I am pretty high up there in terms of rating, which doesn't really matter that much, but I feel pretty good at PUBG.
But you're not going to get better at Dota if you don't play the game.
It's true. You bring up a good point, but you know, that's logical.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Okay, so if there's even any sign of anything going wrong here, Tinker will mash that buyback button and be right back to demolish everybody. But I don't even know there's going to be too much of an issue. Tavo may be dead.
Yeah, he's going to get cold feeded. They have the Shackles plus Doom on the Death Prophet. Without Kotaro, they don't really have any damage. Echo will find the Shadow-Bladed up Magnus, who will get fissured to death. The Doom's still going up Apita. They might lose the Rasa, Tavo as well. But this game looks pretty over. Triple kill coming out. GG's called. So, good try from Infamous. They had a great second game. But Midas Club Elite, they just looked superior in games 1 and 3, by far.
Yeah, the snowball play from Midas Club Elite is really strong. I feel like as well this draft in the third game isn't necessarily completely standard, but they looked very confident on it, and the team play was good. I would guess that anybody that's going to be playing up against Midas Club Elite in the grand finals definitely need to be looking at securing their lanes as hard as they can and just making sure that they're ready to take those early fights. Maybe try and grab as many of the team fight heroes in the pool as they possibly can to feel confident in like a 5v5. But Midas Club Elite definitely a deserved win. I'm feeling pretty confident about Infamous making the run back against the winner of our next series, either Lucini or Unknown.
Right.
So we might see this matchup again, but I guess of course there's still the whole lower bracket to play out first, as Midas Club Elite get to kick back put their feet up and just watch the rest of the games.
Yeah,
until the grand finals.
They get a chance to prepare against some of these teams. I'm with you. Unknown versus Lucchini against Infamous. It's going to be a tough match for whoever plays up against Infamous, but we got to get there first. So really good stuff coming out here from Midas Complete. They will move on to the grand finals, and we will be back in just a little bit to focus on Unknown versus Lucchini, our next series and last series of the day. Stick around, everybody. We'll see you soon.